Good morning, everyone. My name is Amy Engelmark. I'm a life coach and stress management consultant. Today's webinar is part of the Breakthrough to Your Fun and Fabulous webinar series that happens every week, Wednesdays at 11 a.m. live. Super pumped and excited to be with you. I love being on these webinars with you live. If you are just joining us, please put your name and where you're from in the chat box to your right so that we can get to know one another and mingle during the training. Sometimes we have time before, sometimes after. So I want to let you know you're in the right place. If you are an entrepreneur or you're a business leader, you're someone who inspires other people, you lead other people, you are someone who wants to grow personally and manage your time better, you are so in the right place. If you're somebody who wants to decrease your stress and learn how to balance everything more effectively, you're in the right place. One of my clients once said that he was wound up so tight that he might pop. If that's how you feel right now, you are spending the next half an hour to an hour in the right spot with me, because you are going to learn some amazing skills, tools, and strategies to help you totally propel your life forward, your business and personal life, so that you can feel more rested, not so worn out, and be able to have better control over your time and your mind. So you'll find out why that's so important, your mindset, in our training when I start sharing my slides with you. Before I do that, I want to show you what I'm going to give those of you who are on the training live with me today. You have an opportunity to win this book. It's called Enjoy the Little Things. And what I love about it is a simple journal, but it's an opportunity for you to focus on everything that is going good in your life, everything that you're celebrating, and everything you want to acknowledge yourself for. Because what I find is with my clients, they don't take as much time as they could to feel great. And when you do this for yourself, you are taking your thoughts under your own control, and what that does is it improves your emotional state, gives you more hope and confidence, and helps you focus on the right things. So if you answer a question that I ask at the end of this training correctly, then I'm going to send you this book and you'll get it in the mail. It's really fun. Also, for all of you who are on live, I'm just going to post a link to my the application if you want to connect with me, you want to apply to have some time with me. I'm going to enter that now, because at this point, the form that I'm using kind of has a long name to it. So next time I'll have that name corrected for you. If you are watching this and you want to have access to my 2 chapters of my ebook that's coming out, it's called From Burnt Out to Bliss. It's a 30-day challenge for high achievers to have more fun and more free time. So I will post the link right now for you to that. Just give me a second here. Hope you're all having a wonderful morning, and I really congratulate you all for joining me and taking the time for yourself to learn tools that are really going to help you when it comes to growing as a person and becoming more productive and increasing your free time. So there it is. It's my sneak peek into my 2 chapters of my book, and you're welcome to have a peek at that before it comes out. So I'll tell you my story, and then I'll share with you my slides. My story starts, I'll just give you one example of when it was really difficult for me to not give up and not quit when I really felt like it. This is last year, and I had been working on a business project for all through the summer, actually. I had a firm goal and quite a strong expectation of when I was going to achieve that goal and reach nirvana. You know what I mean? You know what you feel like you even if you haven't talked about when you're expecting to have learned a new skill, or for your team to have gotten to a new level in their expertise, or for yourself to have overcome some sort of personal challenge. Sometimes we have really high expectations for ourselves. And I expected myself to master a new skill that was involved in accomplishing this business goal within a couple months of time. And really, it was an unrealistic expectation. What ended up happening in my heart, my emotional state, is I got quite discouraged. Now, I'm a very optimistic person. So what I mean, that quite discouraged is code for depressed. I was feeling depressed at the end of last summer, and I remember it just felt horrible. I'm not used to feeling depressed, so I hate it. I hate it. And I don't put up with it for too long, but I felt really stuck for several weeks in that low mire, that quagmire feeling of depression. Wasn't nice. Didn't enjoy it. So I realized after walking myself through a couple of the steps I'm going to share on the training today that it is possible to not give up, and even when you feel like giving up, it is possible to keep focused on your future and the goals you have for yourself, even when you're not getting praise or feedback, even when it's more tough than you had ever imagined and more challenging on you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, in all areas of your life. So it's something now that I can teach you about and that I can share from my personal experience. And I'm really looking forward to giving you some hope today and helping to encourage those of you who are feeling like you're struggling in some area, business or personal, and you want to have something to hold on to, something to help you refocus and reevaluate. So let's hop into the training portion of the webinar today. And if you are just joining me, please make sure I've seen that as you join the webinar, I've seen you come up, but I can't see your names and where you're from unless you put them in the chat bar, so in the chat room. So put your name and where you're from so that I can tell who you're from and welcome you to the call. So I can tell who you are and where you're from. Let us start and we'll hop into the training. Okay. Okay, so the name of this webinar series, like I was telling you, is Breakthrough to Your Fun and Fabulous Life. Happens every week. And it's an opportunity for you to really dig deep and get clear on what you need to accomplish and how you're going to accomplish it in order for you to make 2016 one of your best years ever yet. That is my goal to help you accomplish. You'll discover a lot of things on these webinar trainings. Some of them I'll cover are proven stress management strategies to help you regain control of your thought life, so important. Also, I'll help you develop new habits so you can become more productive, increase the impact you make with your life and your work, and the success of your business or company. I'll show you how to make yourself and your health a priority again, even if you have the busiest schedule and you've let your health slip for the last couple of years. I'll show you why mastering your mindset is key to more free time and greater prosperity. And I'll also show you the steps needed to boost your energy and your mental focus when you have so much going on. These are live weekly webinars that I run. So even if you can't join live, you're welcome to sign up and you'll be sent the replay. A lot of people can't make it in the middle of the day, but these are really powerful trainings. So I encourage you, if you see a topic that really is pertinent to what's going on in your life right now and you need help in that area, sign up and watch it make a specific time that you're going to watch it. Otherwise, sometimes it won't happen, right? This is me live with some women that I have coached in live workshops. Remember to stick around for the goodies. So you want to download that link that I showed you in the chat room for the first 2 chapters of my ebook, and also stick around because at the end I'm going to give away a book to someone and send it to you in the mail. My promise is that as a busy professional, you can have it all. You can have a fulfilling career, a fabulous family life, and you can be a real success in your business. Some people think they can't have it all. Like they can have their cake, but they can't eat it all, or they can have mediocre cake and not be able to eat the icing. You know, you can have it all. You can have the fun that you might be missing out on. So you're going to come away from the time that we spend this morning together with a fabulous system for how to have it all, minus how stressful it might feel to you to create that life. And I'll show you the habits that you need to develop in order to experience that success and that increase in your productivity so that you can have more fun and more freedom. So this is me. This is me sitting in front of my house. I absolutely love spending time in my yard, wearing bright colors. I'm the author of the upcoming book, From Burnt Out to Bliss. It's a 30-day challenge for high achievers. I'm a trainer, speaker, and coach, and I work with entrepreneurs, corporate healthcare, and service professionals. I work with financial advisors, realtors, and I help my clients increase their productivity and health while they decrease their stress levels. I host workshops in person and over social media. I offer group coaching programs with members from all over the world, and I also offer private one-to-one coaching. I also personally use my systems that I'm going to show you in my own life. So they've worked. They're proven in my life and my clients' lives. This is me spending time with groups in person. So whether it's a workshop for entrepreneurial groups or banking members or caregivers, I have spoken to many different groups, helping them create the best life possible personally, as far as how you manage your time, how to say no and create healthy boundaries, to, you know, are you prioritizing your health, or how are you letting that slip? So I cover a lot in these live workshops. I absolutely love nature. A little bit about me: I love mountain biking, I love boot camp, I love swimming, love being outside. This is me and my family, well, part of my family. These are my boys. Simon's on the left and Gavin is on the right. They're 8 and 10. Here's Gavin and I out for a hike. Our family loves to go for hikes and bike rides. And there's my lovely husband on the left. His name is Beach. Yeah, we just, like any other family, we've got stuff to work through, but we really value one another. So let's hop into the training portion. The name of this webinar specifically today, and what I'll be training on, is Winners Never Quit. 3 ways to not give up. So no matter if you have a business goal you're working on today and that's what attracted you to attending this class, or whether you have a personal goal that you want to achieve and there's something that you need to overcome right now, this is going to be incredibly awesome for you, because so often we feel like quitting. We feel like giving up because whatever we're working through is tough and it's requiring more of ourselves than we feel we even have to give. So if this is you, you are in the right place. The steps I'm going to be teaching today and the winning formula I would suggest you implement are these 3 steps. One is to unravel the story in your head. I'll explain more what I mean in a minute. 2 is to talk out loud about what your perception is of your situation right now. And 3 is to focus on what is working, less on what's challenging or what's going wrong. So it's so important as you work through a challenge and you maybe feel like giving up, that you take time to really evaluate what is going on in your mind. Because more often than not, we are creating stories in our mind that aren't true. So what is the story that you're telling yourself? Last year, like I told you, when I was going through a real challenge, I was feeling so overwhelmed and frustrated with myself and where I felt like I was lacking, that I started telling myself I would never taste the delicious feeling of accomplishment that I wanted to experience. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Maggie. I see you've joined us. Welcome. Great to have you all the way from New York. And Tanya, I'm assuming you're from Royston? Not sure? Okay, wanted to welcome you there. So what is the story you're telling yourself? I was telling myself it wasn't worth it. All this hard work and effort wasn't going to pay off. I was telling myself that I should have accomplished what I set out to accomplish by now, and if I hadn't seen the accomplishment of all of my effort, hadn't seen any new results show up, that it wasn't worthwhile. Wasn't worthwhile to push for what I really wanted. I was telling myself a whole lot of things that really were dictating how negative I started to feel. And so what happens is your mindset affects how you feel emotionally. Brené Brown is an author that I really admire. I really admire her work. She has written 3 books. One's called, or actually more, I think 4 books. The Gifts of Imperfection, Daring Greatly. All of these books I would recommend reading. And the last is Rising Strong. And she talks about a technique that I really love to use, and that's, you know, the story that's going on in my head is blah, 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 blah. Or this is what I'm telling myself about this situation right now. So if you can get really clear on what story it is that you're believing, this is going to be the first step in changing how you feel right now. Instead of feeling like giving up, it's going to start giving you hope, because you're going to start seeing the fallacy often of what you believe and how limited in scope the story is that you may have been telling yourself. Let's move on. So important for you to get out of your head and talk about it. Now, what do I mean? So when you're working on your mindset, if you don't start talking about the thoughts that are going on in your head, if you don't start writing them down, just getting them out of that mental space, you're going to get in trouble. Because like a horse with blinders on, all of us have our own perceptions. And your perception affects how much motivation you have to move forward and not quit on yourself, not quit on your dreams, not quit on your bigger goals in business and in your personal life, in your relationships. Nobody ever wants to quit. Nobody ever wants to be known as a quitter. So you need to talk to other people about your story. You need to become very aware of the story that you've been telling yourself, and then see if there's any truth to it. Find out what other people's opinions are that you highly trust. These would be like, say, the top 3 people that you would go to for counsel or feedback. You're not going to want to tell everybody all of your life stories, right? And it's not comfortable to talk with everybody about them. But you do want to talk to those select few and tell them, look, this is what I've been believing. I'm aware now that this is the story I've been telling myself about this current situation. You probably will become aware quite quickly afterwards that that story is very linked to how you feel right now and how hopeful or hopeless you feel and how motivated you feel to keep moving forward. You're going to notice when you talk to other people that they are going to have their own perspective. That's what's so cool. So other people are going to have their own perspective, and I encourage you to be open to hearing that, to even ask for that person's perspective, because that is going to help you remove those horse blinders off of your eyes and see more of the world. See yourself differently in your own situation and help you keep moving forward. And you might not experience the results you want to experience as soon as you want to receive them. They might not show up in the same form as you thought would be best to receive them. Your teams that you're leading, they might not move forward in the way you thought they would to become more productive or to move the company vision forward effectively the way you thought it would happen. But it will happen, and it sometimes happens in a more powerful and beautiful way than you can even imagine. So your dreams and goals, they will be accomplished, but sometimes there's twists and turns that we didn't see. So if you can be open to looking at your life from a fresh perspective, hopefully 2 or 3 new perspectives, it really switches how you feel about yourself. Your vision of yourself changes and improves, and you become more empowered when you can see how other people view you and what their perspective on your current challenge is. And then your hope can grow, right? We all need to have hope. I want to share with you a testimonial of a client of mine from Vancouver Island. She was a mother of 1. She's now a mom of 2. But at the time, she came to me because she was really feeling stuck in her head, which is exactly what we're talking about. Her thought patterns were very negative at the time, and it was affecting her marriage. It was affecting how little time she spent on her health and how she wasn't prioritizing herself, and big time affecting how she treated herself, how she thought about herself, and what she said out loud about herself. So it was creating some damage in all areas of her life. And by using the strategies that I shared with her, she's then able to better recognize when she was stressing her own self out, how to be more gentle with herself, how to prioritize her health again so she had lots of energy. And she really created a beautiful life for herself, and she has way more confidence and way more tools in her belt now to move forward on a business level and family level and have that balance that she was seeking. Another step you need to put into play for you to accomplish your goals and not give up when the going gets really tough, or you feel really let down or really frustrated, or like you're not being acknowledged for all of the effort that you're making. You need to be the first to acknowledge your efforts. As a coach, I am not exempt from this. I still need to remind myself to acknowledge how far I've come in the areas that I'm working on, in my own life, in my business, whatever realm of life I'm working on. I need to remind myself and be gentle on myself to keep moving forward. If I'm like a drill sergeant with myself, expecting the best, only perfection, and you should be moving faster and treating myself like that, it actually is going to hold me back. But when I acknowledge my efforts, I acknowledge how far I've come, I acknowledge how consistent I've been in my action steps, all of those good things, I've acknowledged every little thing. I feel so much better about myself. My energy is renewed, and your energy can be renewed as well when you take the time to acknowledge your efforts. You're going to have more of a desire to move forward again. Your mental state will be refreshed, and you'll be able to be more focused and make decisions with more clarity. So take the time to acknowledge yourself. This is a testimonial of a lawyer client that I worked with. She is from the Vancouver area. And she came to me because she really felt like she had no time for her personal goals anymore. She had become so successful and so busy as a lawyer that she didn't know how she was going to balance her workload and have any time to see her family or to eat properly or to take care of her exercise needs. She wanted to make time for exercise. She wanted to see her family more, but she was really stuck in a mindset feeling like she didn't have the time. So I shared with her some strategies and she implemented them and noticed she had a much better handle on her stress. Her coworkers, she was able to relate to them better, and her mindset changed so that she was viewing her workload in such a different way that she was accomplishing so much more. Her productivity improved, and she viewed herself more as a leader, which made her show up in her workplace in a more confident way. Very cool. I love hearing my clients' testimonials. So, last but not least, we have a few more points, and this is a really important one. Evaluating your expectations. You remember how I was talking about last year when I expected to be somewhere sooner than I was. I expected to have kind of become a master in the area that I was just starting to learn about. I wanted to become a master within 2 months. And for some things, you can learn skills or develop the habits that you need to implement quickly. But depending on what you're trying to learn, you need to often give yourself time to implement the strategies, implement the habits. And so I encourage you to have a look at what you're expecting of yourself in different areas of life that could be causing you frustration and causing you unneeded amounts of stress. So what would a more realistic expectation be? I remember one time a client of mine said, I really realize actually right now, Amy, that this was another family doctor, that I am expecting to grow all my own food. And if I can't grow all my own food for my young family, then I'm going to always make sure it's organic and free range from the local markets. And I'm going to cook it all myself. All the meals are going to be homemade. She had such unrealistic high expectations for herself as a working mom, even as a mom who doesn't work outside of the home. Sometimes women can expect so much of themselves, and men aren't exempt from this either. I work with many male clients, and sometimes we hold this unrealistic expectation over our heads that's just unattainable. And what happens is we get disappointed with ourselves. We get easily frustrated. We want to give up. We think we're lacking and incompetent, and we can start beating ourselves up in our minds. So how could you create a more realistic, more nourishing expectation for yourself that you could actually meet, even if it does stretch you a little bit? So for her, this was, okay, a few homemade meals in a week. I'll shop as much as I can at the market, but if I don't do all my shopping there, I'm not going to beat myself up over it. And then I'm going to ask my spouse to help me juggle this load of food prep so that I don't feel like I'm doing it all by myself. She felt much better and at ease with her decision. To not quit and not give up, to stay your course, you need to develop long-term focus. So that is easier said than done. And I'm not going to leave you there. I'm going to help you hit the target in the future that you're aiming for in business, whether this is a professional goal or personal goal. So to hit a long-term target, to stay focused on your long-term goals, you need to develop goals that are really sharply aligned with your values and your dreams. Because if you don't have passion and purpose driving you forward towards your future goals, you won't stay the course, period. You need to feel passionate. You need to feel purposeful about the goals that you've created. So if you have some goals right now and you really don't feel passionate about them, or they really aren't aligned with your deeper values of, let's say, contribution or adventure, maybe safety, health, connection. I'm not sure what your values are. That's the emotional state you want to feel every day. But you may decide to create some new goals that excite you more, that are more in line with who you want to become, what you want your company to look like 5 years down the road, what you want your family life to look like 5 years down the road, so that you don't give up in what you're parenting your children, how you're parenting your children right now, so that you don't give up leading your team by example, day in and day out. So maybe you need to ditch some old goals, reevaluate them. Maybe you need to create some new, refreshing long-term goals, but make sure they're in line with what's most important to you. Make sure they make you feel passionate and purposeful. I love this quote. It says, "You will never always be motivated. You have to learn to be disciplined." So if you want to have long-term goals and you don't like to be disciplined, you'll have to change something. And I have learned this lesson. I will tell you. I didn't like the word disciplined. I didn't want to be disciplined. It felt like I was trapped in a cage if I called myself disciplined, or that I had self-discipline. But I knew in my heart of hearts that I needed to develop stronger discipline muscles, self-discipline, if I was to accomplish much with my life. So in order for you to become a master of the long haul, you want to become a master of the long haul, you need to work on self-discipline. Then, even when you're discouraged or when you don't feel like it, you can push forward, because you are not always going to feel like heading towards your goals and staying on track, even if you feel aligned, they're aligned with your passion and purpose. So cultivating self-discipline is super duper important. So that's day in, day out. If you want to accomplish, improve your self-discipline, you're going to need to choose to practice those new habits that you create for yourself every single day until you can handle more. And it's not such a big deal to be consistent. Here's a testimonial of a client who's a clothing store owner. And she came to me, she was a part of a group coaching program I ran at the time. And she came to work on herself, and so that she would develop into an even greater leader for her team at work. She wanted to have better life balance and to manage her time more effectively so she could have more of it. And what she didn't expect is she improved in all of those areas and found she had more time for her health and for her family, but she also developed a new respect for the people that she loves the most, which are her children and her husband. And she let go of some of the control that she was trying to keep, and saw that when she did, things turned out beautifully in the functioning of her home. So if you're wanting to make some personal changes, she's the woman to talk to about what steps I walked her through and how you can get the same results. My question for you is, how long will you wait for the perfect timing? So many of us say that, we're going to do something about those changes we want to make. We're going to get healthier. We're going to somehow tackle that frustrating challenge at work, and we'll be able to do it by ourselves, even though we've been trying for years maybe to overcome that challenge with very little success. So how long are you going to wait to actually do something about it for real this time? I encourage you to get support, to be accountable to others, to access mentorship of people that have gone ahead of you, because they can walk you step by step through the process. And that's what I can do for you as well. So what's it costing you to not take action? To not, to choose to give up too soon? To choose to quit just because it's taking you much longer than you thought to accomplish the goal that you have in mind? How would that make you feel if you're always moving on to the next project and you're never seeing things through to completion and feeling incredible because of it? What's it costing you as a parent or a leader to live a life like that, where you don't finish what you start? And what price are you paying in other areas of your life? I know that when I'm not living in alignment with what makes me feel truly fully alive, when I'm not really rested, when I'm feeling stressed out, my family pays. And I don't like that my family has to pay for my decisions and my lack of action taking, but they do. And it makes me feel sad when I'm in that place. So that's why I work on myself. That's why I work on my business. That's why when you move forward and take action in the areas where you know needs changing, your family is also going to benefit. It's a beautiful thing. Another beautiful thing is you have a choice. Sometimes we get ourselves believing that we don't have a choice, but you do. In the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, what would it mean for you to have more time freedom? I am not joking. You can have more time freedom no matter how busy you are in your life. You can decrease your stress. How would you like to? You can create amazing life balance. You can totally boost your productivity and accomplish so much more and not even be stressed about it like you may be feeling right now. That's what I help my clients do, is conquer their stress and kickstart their health from a place of feeling like not too great about themselves, not too great about how they feel in their pants right now, to really prioritizing you because you're worth it, you're valuable. One of the options I offer people who are interested in working with me is my program that's 6 months long. It's called Breakthrough to Your Fun and Fabulous Life. It's the best program out there because not only do you get group coaching, you get one-on-one coaching every month. So there's group coaching every week over the phone and private coaching every month, where I help you create a structured plan to boost your productivity, stay on track, accomplish goals, clarify with a fine comb what it is you want to accomplish. And then you get lifetime access to my modules. And those are audios, videos, worksheet trainings. And it's all focused on taking more time off as a busy professional, delegating and outsourcing so you can be the master of your business or company instead of the slave of it, decreasing your stress, making time for your health, creating healthy boundaries so that you can say no without feeling guilty or selfish, so that you can feel accomplished, healthy, and energized again. I'm sure many of you would like to feel that way again on a daily basis. And I also, in the program, focus on helping you increase your productivity and therefore prosperity so that you can make a very big impact with your life. You can find out more about that program at amyengelmark.com/about. So how can I help you? Oh, looks like this slide has changed. What I've done is I've set aside some time for you in the next week for an hour or so to help you figure out how you can have it all, be more productive, have more prosperity, have an abundant life in all areas with your family, in your health, and in your business, minus the stress. So I'll personally take the time to walk with you and help you get crystal clear on where you need to take action steps, what those action steps look like, and how you can create this lifestyle of freedom and fun, even as a busy professional. You can apply for that hour with me if you're serious about creating this. It's free. So I wouldn't, if this has struck your heart or your mind, you know you need it, the action takers are the ones who get results. That's what I've found time and time again in my coaching practice, is the people who reach out when they know it's the right time, that they don't want to wait any longer. You are the person that I work best with because you're the person who's going to get results. So you can apply for that hour with me at amyanglemark.com/ oh, let me see here. I put it in the sidebar here, and it's an application form that you'd need to fill out. So how can I show you? Let me see here if I can actually paste it on my slideshow so that you can see it, but I don't think so. Whoops. 1 second here. Let me just, there we go, end it so you can see me. It's, you can contact me and I will send you the form. How about that? It's Amy at amyanglemark.com. AMYENGLEMARK.com. And I'll put that link here. So for those of you who are on the call and you want to get access to this journal, I'm going to ask you a question now, and you can see who is going to receive it in the mail. This is a tricky question. How old am I? How old do you think that I am? This is the burning question of the day. I was going to ask you another nature question, but how old do you think I am? I'm going to look for some water while you... Oh, I left my water in the kitchen. But I'll just flip through this book and start writing you a special little note. Ooh, Maggie, thank you so much. I'm not 29. Tanya, I'm not 40 either, but good guess, ladies. You can keep guessing till you get it right. I love it. 29 and 40. That's fun. Who's next? Who can get it? So, I had my first baby when I was 25. If you remember how old my kids are. 41 and a half. That's awesome. So I had my kids when I was 25. Do you remember how old I said Simon and Gavin are currently? How old were you listening well? Oh, Maggie. I'm going to give it to you, Maggie. I'm not 35. I just turned 36 in May. Woo! Good job, Maggie! So, Tanya, you're so close. You guys got really close. You're kind of sandwiching me in between your years. Awesome. Maggie, I'll just, if you can contact me at that email, Amy at, yeah, woohoo, you won it. Amy at amyanglemark.com, and send me your address to send you the book. I'll pop it in the mail for you soon with a special note from me in there. So I hope you all enjoyed this training and that you're taking away some great tools to apply to your life, whatever goal you really don't want to quit or give up on. And you can join me live next week. Please do share these webinar classes. You're so welcome, Maggie. Share these webinar classes with your friends and family or business colleagues, anyone that would really benefit from having increased productivity, increasing their free time, having better health, and people who want to increase their prosperity and the impact that they make with their lives through their work and through who they show up as day to day. Lots of love to you guys, and I'm really looking forward to next week. I will be training on running a business and raising kids at the same time. So it's going to be a good one. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you next week. Hope to see you live then as well. Bye.